Walking along the river Schelde as it is then. Now, this river plays a major role in the city of Antwerp throughout history. For example, it has commercial trading, ships bringing cargo and goods coming over to the city. It's all about trade, and especially when it comes to commercialization due for the economy of Antwerp. And this is what made Antwerp a very rich city, especially in the northern part of Belgium, well, which is actually Flanders. And of course we all know that Belgium only existed in 1830 because of the Belgian Revolution against the Dutch. After 15 years of Belgium being part of the Netherlands, well, the United Kingdom of the Netherlands, before the actual revolution. And in fact, the only reason why the Flemish joined the Belgian Revolution in the first place against the Dutch, it's to do with religion. Because the Dutch, they were Protestants, whereas the Flemish, along with the Walloons, they were Catholics. And so, yeah, it's pretty much of a religious difference. Well, gather that the Flemish, they do speak some words of Dutch. But then this is where it gets very complicated. But I'm not going to go into that because this is not today's topic. Because for today's topic, this is Antwerp. And so, yeah, we're walking along the docks of Antwerp. And speaking of which, it also went through major sieges and wars, conflicts. For example, during the 16th century or even early 17th century, there was a big siege of Antwerp, which happened between the United Provinces, you know, the Dutch forces against the Spanish under Philip II of Spain. And so, yeah, Antwerp went through a lot of sieges in the late 16th century, early 17th century, 1830 during the Belgian Revolution, and World War I in 1914. And so, yeah, it's been very brutal, that's for sure. However, on the bright side of Antwerp, this is where all the commercial trading has taken place, especially within the docks, especially along the river Schelde. This is the memorial dedicating to the Belgian servicemen who fought and died throughout First World War and Second World War. And here you see 1918 and 1945, well, 1914 to 1918, 1940, 1945. Here in French it says "Aux gens de mer morts pour la Belgique," and in Dutch, Flemish for that matter, whatever, it says "On the zeelieden Yep. Actually, I'm trying to redeem myself whenever it comes to learning some Dutch words. Yes, it's Dutch. Yeah, in Flanders they speak Dutch, but it's more likely to be a Flemish dialect. Yeah, it's separated into different dialects, which is, I find it pretty strange, but it just happens to be this way. Why? It's because this is how it happens. But of course, the only reason why I come through Flanders and the Netherlands is because of this Dutch-speaking culture, especially when it comes to the cycling culture. What's very great about Flanders is the cycling network. And yes, Flanders, in a way, is looking up to the Netherlands because it's trying to be just as good as the Netherlands, which is understandable in a way. And what's really similar is that we also had a windmill, this windmill in a far distance. Okay, time to move on. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is what's very great about Flanders. It's a two-way cycle lane, which is very similar to the two-way cycle lane, the one you see in the Netherlands, like last year. And you see here, the cyclist is riding a separate cycle lane, separated from the road where all the cars use. And so, yes, yep, two-way cycle lane. This is one of the great things about Flanders, just as great as the Netherlands. But of course, we all know that the Netherlands, they are the masters of mastering the facilities whenever it comes to bicycles, which is the reason why Flanders is looking up to the Netherlands. But of course, the Netherlands it's pretty much equal to Denmark in a way that the Danish, they are very passionate about riding bicycles as well, because bicycles, why is it such a big deal? Well, one thing is that they're very cheap and affordable for everyone, for those who cannot afford to drive a car. Second thing, it's very healthy, very good for your mental health and for your respiratory system and your breathing technique. And it's very good for the environment, we all know that. And yes, apart from the fact that it's a flat country, but more of the point, it's the quality of life, especially when it comes to those who can't even drive a car and for those who choose to ride bicycles, like this guy over here. And yeah, going straight ahead, going along the docks, in the far distance there's the Red Line Museum and this concrete building where every year in September where Comic-Con Antwerp takes place. Here it is, the Red Star Line, which is a museum about the Red Star Line, about the ship liner. And you can also see the black and white picture of the workers with the carts. And on the other side you see this brick-walled and concrete building where the Comic-Con will take place every year in September. And that building is called the Wagenatje. And now we're gonna stop where there's this big statue of a cormorant. Well, here I am, standing in front of this statue of a cormorant, which is more nature-friendly, as opposed to the macabre meaning behind the name of the city, as we saw earlier. You know, the hero who, you know, does something to the giant after killing the giant, and so, you know, this is where the city gets its name from. But anyhow, I really hope you enjoyed this video, because tomorrow I'll be going to Hus in the Netherlands, all by electric bike, as part of the cycling journey through Flanders and the Netherlands. Well, as from tomorrow it's gonna be all through the Netherlands. And so yes, because my goal is to reach Amsterdam for the second time in a row in 2023, just like what happened in 2022. And so here I am behind me with this giant cormorant statue. This is to wrap up today's video, and stay tuned for tomorrow in Ros. Have a nice day. At least the weather is improved. At least the weather's improved. Let us hope that tomorrow that, yeah, it's all gonna be clear, nice and cloudy, nice and bright sunshine, no shitty weather like rain or even strong winds. We'll see.